Page 3. A number of classical texts like Atharva Veda 1000 BCE mention some dye stuff. The material used were turmeric, madder, sunflower, orpiment, cochineal, and lac. Some other substances having tinting property were campsica, patanga, and jatuka. Varaha Mihir's Brihat Samhita gives references to perfumes and cosmetics. Recipes for hair dyeing were made from plants like indigo and minerals like iron power, black iron, or steel, and acidic extracts of sour rice gruel. Gandha Yukuli describes recipes for making scents, mouth perfumes, bath powders, incense, and talcum powder. Paper was known to India in the 17th century as account of Chinese traveler I Sing describes. Excavations at Taxila indicate that ink was used in India from the 4th century. Colors of ink were made from chalk, red lead, and minimum. It seems that the process of fermentation was well known to Indians. Vedas and Kautilya's Arthashastra mention about many types of liquors. Charak Samhita also mentions ingredients such as barks of plants, stem, flowers, leaves, woods, cereals, fruits, and sugarcane for making asavas. The concept that matter is ultimately made of indivisible building blocks appeared in India a few centuries BC as a part of philosophical speculations. Acharya Kanda, born in 600 BCE, originally known by the name Kashyap, was the first proponent of the atomic theory. He formulated the theory of very small indivisible particles which he named Parmanu, that is, comparable to atoms. He authored the text Vaiseshika Sutras. According to him, all substances are aggregated form of smaller units called atoms, that is Parmanu, which were eternal, indestructible, spherical, suprasensible, and in motion and in original state. He explained that this individual entity cannot be sensed through any human organ. Kanda added that there are varieties of atoms that are as different as the different classes of substances. He said these Parmanu could form pairs or triplets among other combinations, and unseen forces cause interaction between them. He conceptualized this theory around 2500 years ago before John Dalton, who was born in 1766 and died in 1844. Charak Samhita is the oldest Ayurvedic epic of India. It describes the treatment of diseases. The concept of reduction of particle size of metals is clearly discussed in Charak Samhita. Extreme reduction of particle size is termed as nanotechnology. Charak Samhita describes the use of bhasma of metals in the treatment of ailments. Nowadays, it has been proved that bhasmas have nanoparticles of metals. After a decline of alchemy, iatro chemistry reached a steady state, but it too declined due to the introduction and practice of Western medicinal system in the 20th century. During this period of stagnation, pharmaceutical industry based on Ayurveda continued to exist, but it too declined gradually. It took about 100 to 150 years for Indians to learn and adopt new techniques. During this time, foreign products poured in. As a result, indigenous traditional techniques gradually declined. Modern science appeared in Indian scene in the later part of the 19th century. By the mid-19th century, European scientists started coming to India and modern chemistry started growing. From the above discussion, you have learned that chemistry deals with the composition, structure, properties, and interaction of matter and is of much use to human beings in daily life. These aspects can be best described and understood in terms of basic constituents of matter, that are atoms and molecules. That is why chemistry is also called the science of atoms and molecules. Can we see, weigh, and perceive these entities, that is, atoms and molecules? Is it possible to count the number of atoms and molecules in a given mass of matter and have a quantitative relationship between the mass and the number of these particles? We will get the answer of some of these questions in this unit. We will further discuss how physical properties of matter can be quantitatively described using numerical values with suitable units.